When we're awake, there are demands made on us. Now, we can ignore those demands, but when we are awake to our true nature, the demand is asking us to live up to our higher nature. The demand is, when you are awake, to live up to that pure, perfect, and whole self. So the question is, do you wish to stay awake? You know, is it enough for you just to be aware of your divine nature? Well, in the science of mind, we say, we're here for eternity. So we have an eternity to wake up to our true nature. But I'm going to give you a good reason to say why we should remain awake. We can't go back living from that unaware nature. It's very difficult to. The demand is that we start to live by our higher self, and that we start listening to the inspiration of that infinite mind that's going to lead us into a higher state, a higher and better state of livingness. We all want to live better. We all want to be healthier. We want to be more abundant. We want to have better relationships. All of these things are important to us. But when we're asleep to our true nature, it's very difficult to do that, because all we do is react, isn't it? We become reactors rather than creators. See, reactor is a part of that word. We create instead of just react to everything thrown at us. So the demands that are put upon us by being awake are not burdensome. They're not causing us trouble. What they're demanding is that we live up to who we really are. Live up to the wise person that we are. Live up to the loving, compassionate person we are. Live up to our wholeness and completeness. That's not burdensome. It's really awakening to a higher quality of life, wouldn't you think? So who would not want to do that? Who would not want to wake up to a higher quality of life? Well, maybe a lazy person who believes that we have all eternity to do that would say, well, I got all this time. I'm just going to lie here and enjoy the drama of my life. But the truth is, it's not a burden, and it's not tough to do, because a true awakening rouses also the latent energy within you that we already possess, and it fires us into action. We don't work from a sense of limited human power anymore, and that's the bonus of waking up. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, and as soon as I read this, I've remembered it forever, because he says, do the thing and you shall have the power. You won't have it until you start doing it. It's like the job that you don't know how to do. You learn how to do it as you go along. Nobody is prepared for the step above, are we? But taking that step up, we will get what we need to prepare us for it. We'll get the energy. We'll get the information. We'll get whatever intelligence and wisdom we need. So all we have to do is, when we're awake, is allow the power within us to support us from now on. Know that we will be carried by that power. So life really will be easier once you're awake and living your awakeness. The story is told of Honoré Balzac. I don't know if you have ever read any of his, but he's a French writer. He was a slow, lumbering hulk of a man. And he wanted to be a writer, but his work was just really wooden, not very interesting at all. He was a terrible writer until he saw the light. He had a cosmic experience one day, and he woke up to the idea and to the truth that he was united with all living things, and he just started to live that light. He was filled with a creative genius that everyone saw. It just poured out of him. They called him a loving light. And after his awakening, not very many people recognized him. He was still this big hulk of a man, but he wrote, his writing was beautiful and full of light and wisdom and understanding. And he soon became one of France's greatest and most beloved writers. Speaking of light, since I was a child, I've had these very rare but consistent little bursts of light and absolute clarity. I don't know, anybody else here ever have those, just a moment when the world is a light and you see it in a different way? They last only a moment or two, but during those little bursts of light, everything seems more vivid and more real than they ever were before. And yet, In this reality, you can see that everything is not as solid as you think, as you believed it to be. That I was very aware, I have been very aware of there's a dancing of light. Everything is vibrating with light, that it's all energy and light. Everything, trees, grass, flowers, all of it is composed of this dance of light. And then I would just fall asleep again and go about my routine, the old automatic, just asleep, doing everything unconsciously. But you know what I call those moments? I call those moments being awake, really and truly awake, really alive. Because at that moment, you really do feel like you are so alive. The rest of the time, it is a kind of sleepwalking. I believe that my spiritual journey has always been to try to experience more and more of these little bursts of light and being really awake to life. Those moments bring a kind of ecstasy that they say you're transcending the ordinary. It's a transcendent moment. It's a peek into divine reality. So the question is, how can any of us experience more and more of that light, of that true reality? Anybody here want to experience that? No? Okay. Well, if you would like to do that, there is a way to do that. And number one way is to keep your mind clear. So what does this mean, keeping your mind clear? Well, it means that most of the time we're preoccupied with all the things that are going on, don't we? We're surfing the web, we're watching the news, we're watching TV with all those murder CSI shows with, all kinds of hospital shows, drama, problems. We're watching all of those things all the time, aren't we? We're surfing the web, we're on the phone, we're texting. And it's not that these things are wrong, they're wonderful. But it's just that they're using up all of your awake time. Your possibility of being awake. So what are you thinking, though? Those precious few moments when you're not doing all those things. Anybody have a few moments when you're not doing those things? We have precious little of that, don't we? And in those moments, we're probably fighting with people in our mind, fighting battles, aren't we? We're justifying, we're rehearsing our grievance. Why did he say that? Just arguing. I caught myself doing it. Stop that, I say. Choose to do something else. Choose to think on the good, the pure, the true. Are you really enjoying what you're doing? Are you enjoying what you have right now? Do you have a moment when you think about what you have and how much you enjoy it? Are you really living in the present? Are you passionately involved with life? Or are you passionately involved with the political scene? We are passionately involved with all these things, but we keep our minds so overcrowded with the trash can reality of life that we don't allow space for that light to grow in us, for our intuition to pick up what the infinite might be telling us about ourselves and about the possibilities that we could be experiencing. So what do we need to know now that we're awake and now that no one wants to be awake? Well, it would be a good thing to start to just practice being quiet, wouldn't it, for a few moments a day? I always advocate meditation, a few minutes a day, sometime in the morning, just to try to get your mind clear a little bit, just to relax and cultivate a little ease of mind, because this infinite intelligence and wisdom that has something to tell us can't get through the babble, because it's the still small voice that's speaking to us. It's our intuition, and it has wisdom to convey to us. So take some time to just listen, just to be present in the now, just to be present, to experience the joy of being alive. And also, it allows us the moment to say, everything is all right now, isn't it? Everything is okay right now. Isn't everything okay with you right now? Yeah, at this very moment. Just take a little inventory. Isn't everything okay right now? Yeah, it's okay. Is your body at peace? Yeah. Are you free of pain? If you do have pain, just say, I let you go. I let you go. Are you anticipating your next meal? Do you have some extra clothes to wear other than the ones you're wearing? Do you have a safe place to sleep at night, away from danger? Are your current bills paid? Or, you've paid your food bills, you have your gas and all that stuff. Just think about what you have this moment to be grateful for. Just this moment. It's all good, isn't it? Like Judy said in her treatment, it's all good. It's all good. If things are going to improve, we have to start now, don't we? Right in the now. Giving gratitude for the now, because what we focus on multiplies. So let's give thanks for the good that's going on now. That's the principle of creation. What we focus on multiplies. So the gratitude, the feeling of being present, the feeling that all is good now is creating more of that. So you're creating your future right now. So pay attention to this principle. Listen, you will always know exactly what it is that you need to be working on for the next day, tomorrow, whatever. You'll be guided and directed. Being awake means being aware that we take charge of everything in our lives. We are directing our lives. No one is doing that for us. So if we don't do that, our lives are going nowhere. And maybe that's good. Maybe that's all right. But we are the ones who are doing it. We are the ones who are either awake or asleep to our lives. So take a moment every day and just say, what is it I need to know here? I'm guided and directed into the wisdom that I know is available to me right here, right now, because I'm one with a one. The Holy of Holies pervades me, is present in me, is thinking as me and through me. It's all that I am. I am one with all being. I am one with all life. That's when I'm awake. And that's how life works.